Hi students, welcome back. So in the previous video I explained how to work on super keyword in the writing pad or well as the editor also. So in the notepad I executed the program. So now let's work on the super keyword. So what is a super keyword? Super constructor. So this it calls default constructor. We used to call it as a default constructor of which class? Super class. This super, okay, it's a brackets or there, then it calls default constructor of the super class. So the super constructor is without arguments, and with arguments also it will be there. Argument 1, argument 2, argument 3, so on. Okay, so what it calls? It calls parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor of which class? Super class only. Of super class. So without arguments it calls default constructor of super class, and with arguments it calls parameterized constructor of super class. And some point you have to remember, the students, note this point. You know about this constructor, right? Or this default constructor as well as this with arguments also. Okay, or if you take super default constructor without arguments, or you can take super with arguments. So these two must a first statement in a constructor. So even though implicitly it will be the first statement, whenever the compiler calls, first this and super will be executed before the constructor. This must be a first statement. First statement in a constructor. By default, it is a first statement in a constructor. Okay. And note 2. Remember that. Note 2. Super keyword, whatever the super constructor is there, implicitly present as a first statement. First statement in every constructor. In every constructor, this is the first statement which allocates a memory to the super class. Implicitly it is present. So when you require explicitly, whenever the instance methods name as well as the class method, subclass method names and the superclass method names are the same, then only the super keyword is explicitly required. So in the same way, the method is also explicitly that required. Okay, so let's try to work on a program. Let me take one program. So in the next video, I'll explain in the IDE editor. So let's take a class A. Okay, so a default constructor A. So here I'm using this keyword parameterized with value. Okay, system dot out dot print ln. So let's try to print A class. Okay, so A class. Now I'm calling a parameterized constructor A int x system dot out dot print ln. Okay, so here this is a parameterized constructor, so just take the variable x. Just try to take the variable x. So close it. A class close. Okay, A class close. Now let's try to work on B class. Class B extends A. Use the word extends A. So then only these members can be accessed in the B class whenever an object is created. Okay, B class constructor is created. Here I am using this keyword, this 10 parameterized this keyword. Okay, so system dot out dot print ln. This is B class. Okay, close this constructor. Now call the parameterized constructor also. Okay, parameterized constructor. Let me take B int y system dot out.println. Okay, why? B is closed. Within the B class only, public static void main string args. Okay, so create a object. So new B object is created. So simply I created the object, close the class B also. Now what happening here? What will be the output? Let's see the flow of the program. So first what is happening? Compiler comes to here, the main program, B object is created. So whenever the B object is created, that means it goes to the B here. Okay, this is the first statement. So B constructor it calls. Whenever B constructor is calls, this 10 means what? It is a parameterized. This constructor with a parameterized. So the compiler will goes to here. This 10 compiler will goes to here. First B object is created, coming to the default constructor, starting this 10 is there. So it checks the parameterized, whatever this means within this class only, within this class, int y it goes to here. So whenever it enter into here implicitly what happened? Implicitly super keyword is present here. Implicitly super keyword is present without argument. Super keyword is without argument. Super without argument means super. It goes to the super class. So where is the super class here? Implicitly super here is present. Okay. So now it goes to the super keyword. This is the third statement. Third time. So coming to here. But whenever it entered here, this first statement is this 20. This 20 means it's a parameterized. This is a parameterized constructor. So this means within that class only. So where is a parameterized constructor? Here. So compiler comes to here. Fourth statement. So whenever it comes to here, so within the super class there is no super keyword is not implicitly present because this is a super class itself. Here super keyword will not present. So first it takes the x value. What will be the x? This 20. This 20 means first 20 is printed. Output. First 20 is printed. Okay. So after printing 20, where will be the compiler will go? This is the fourth statement. So fifth statement. Next what it will be happened? Okay. So this keyword. So after it is executing this, it goes to the next statement. Whatever it is there. A class. A class is printed. Whatever it is there in the next statement. A class is printed. So after A class is printed, now what happened? So now it coming to the B. So we are here, right? So here it will goes to here and this will be printed and this will be printed. A is over. So whenever A is over, now the compiler will come to the next statement of here. What is the next statement? That is a Y value. What is the Y value? Y value this. That is a 10 is printed. So after printing that, then, so this is also over. So this it will goes to here. It goes to the super and execute all the A class methods. Then it prints the Y. Again after completing this, it will print the next statement, that is a B class. So this is how the program is executing here. So it seems to be a little bit confusion, but don't worry. I just explained the flow of execution. What happening here? First 20 Y it is printing. Next A class is printing. Next 10 is printing. Next B class is printing. Why it is happening means this is what. The first main is executed, loaded. B constructor is called. So whenever B with parameter default constructor. But here the first statement is this 10. This 10 means within the class this parameterized constructor. This is a parameterized constructor. So while trying to execute Y, but implicitly super key constructor is present here because this is subclass. Subclass extends the superclass feature. So super keyword is present. So it matches here. But inside the super constructor, this 20 is there. So it goes to the parameterized this keyword. So X value is printed. The next statement, whatever A class is printed. So again it will come to back here. So print violin. So Y value is printed. So this is completed. Next is a B class is printed. Okay. So this is about the super constructor. So in the next video, I'll explain this while working on the notepad. Thank you.